This season of the IPL has been like no other season before this. Why do I say that? Because we still have 7 league matches to go, but we already know the top 4. Top 4 done and dusted. You had Gujarat, Punjab, 2 teams that have been dominating alongside RCB. These 3 teams, in fact, already had qualified, and now Mumbai Indians joined them. The only other team that was in contention is Delhi Capitals. They have been knocked out after losing to Mumbai by a huge margin of 59 runs. Remember, this was a game that was going to be washed off because of rain, but the rain god stayed away. The only team that got washed out of this particular game, in fact, this season of the IPL, has been the Delhi Capitals. Batting first, Mumbai did seem to be in a bit of a trouble on what proved to be a very tricky pitch, but I think 2 standout knocks there, one by Suryakumar Yadav and the other by Namandir 30 odd with a strike rate of 300. Suryakumar Yadav getting once again a half century, one of the most consistent batters of this season, ensured that Mumbai reached 180 on a pitch which seemed to be tricky, on a pitch that seemed to be assisting spin bowlers. They reached 180 on a pitch where 160 would have been a par total. It was down to some fine batting, as I mentioned, but also some poor bowling. The last 2 overs leaking a lot of runs, close to about 50 plus runs that were leaked in the last 2 overs to take Mumbai to a total that was going to be a match-winning one. Both those overs, one bowled by Mukesh Kumar and the other by Chamira, actually took the wins out of the sails of Delhi Capitals. But that's been the problem of Delhi Capitals this entire season. The bowling lineup without a Mitch Starc does look very, very thin, and over the season, we've only seen them change bowlers. So Chamira can be in or out, Mukesh can be in or out. At best, Natarajan will come, who also hasn't been great for those few chances he's got, or a Mohit Sharma who comes in. So basically, you are playing musical chairs with these bowlers, but there has been no bowler that has really stepped up for them this season other than a Starc and to an extent a Kuldeep Yadav, and that was on display again this time. But kudos to these 2 batters that I spoke about. I think what the Suryakumar Yadav knock showed today is dispel a few other myths that people have about Suryakumar Yadav. Remember, he came into this IPL with not so much of a great form in T20 international, but this season he's been outstanding, he's been consistent. So what are those 2 myths that he is bursting? One, that he's only a slam bang sort of a batter, what he showed today on a tough pitch, because he was playing for 160, he was playing a responsible knock to tell you that he can find different gears in his batting. That is what he showed in his knock, one thing. And the other thing that he showed in this knock is that many think that because he's a dasher, he can get you some match winning knocks, but there'll never be consistency if you're going to be batting like that. What he's shown you this IPL season, that he is bang on consistent. In fact, he's made a record most 25 plus scores consistently. He's got 13 now in a row, tied with Temba Bavuma as the most 25 plus scores in T20 history, and so that's a record that he has got on his name. Namandir, again, outstanding. He's a top order batter, but having to do the finisher's job, but he's doing that also admirably well in this entire season with the way he's batting today. Also 300 strike rate is just showing how adaptable he is and how he does that so well. Now turning our attention to the Delhi batting, they still had a chance to win this game, but for that they needed 2 batters in a Faf du Plessis and a KL Rahul to step up. KL Rahul on most days bats in his template, and sometimes comes under criticism that when you need a very high strike rate, he's still batting in his comfort zone or in the template that really suits him. But with that, at least he gets you big runs. Today, that's exactly what he needed to do. Get you big runs. Strike rate could have been compromised. He could have used his template to take them to the winning total. But once again, on a day that he needed to bat in his template, what does he do? Comes out, premeditated shot, trying to hit it outside the ground, gets out pretty early. And that was really baffling. On days when he needs to have that approach, he's playing his own comfortable template. The day he needed to play the comfortable template, he's trying to be ultra aggressive. It really beats you what the thought process there is. And then why just Faf? The entire batting lineup has been like that for Delhi Capitals, whether it's Faf himself with the bat, or Abhishek Porel. They used to keep bringing Karun Nair once in a while, but he's also been out of favor, and that is another baffling decision that Delhi didn't take. Karun Nair had an outstanding knock, 90-odd run knock that he had against the same opposition in this very season, where he dismantled someone like a Jasprit Bumrah too. Why wouldn't you want to play that same player against the same opposition? Yes, he didn't have a great outing after that, yet at least there would have been scars of that game. There would have been confidence in him that I've scored against this team this season, and there would have been some sort of scars in the Mumbai Indians bowling lineup as well, but they chose not to play him, and that's another baffling thing when I'm talking about the Delhi team. And then they of course missed their captain in Akshar Patel. Mitchell Stark was already missing, but overall their batting lineup, Tristan Stubb batting lower down the order, Ashutosh Sharma barring that 1 or 2 knocks this season has flattered to deceive. So the entire team, if you take a look at their bowlers as well as their batting lineup, does not inspire much confidence. They started off very well, winning 4 out of 4, but now are out of the playoff race. And if you look at that team sheet, if you look at the performances, then it is hardly surprising that Delhi are knocked out. Many will say that at least they gave it a fight. Yes, they did, but don't be sure that they finished 5th. There's a good chance they could finish 7th, because teams like Lucknow and Kolkata can still go past Delhi Capitals in this season. If they were to finish 7th, then I think a season that started on such a fine note for them will finish in disappointment. As for Mumbai Indians, they've qualified looking like a dangerous team, getting their act together, always slow starters, but then got into their groove and have qualified for the playoffs every odd year. Anyway, they have this reputation of winning the title, now looking like title contenders. But even if they are to win the title, they'll have to go about it in the tough way or the hard way, simply because they will at best finish 4th, or even if they have an outstanding sort of the remaining game and a few drop results for the other competitors, at best they can be 3rd. So 3rd and 4th is what they can finish realistically, which means they'll have to go through eliminator 1 route to win the IPL. It's been done once before, but it will be a tough route nonetheless. However, for now, it's the time for Mumbai Indians to celebrate and for Delhi Capitals to introspect. Do give us a like on the video if you're enjoying our content. Share it with your other cricket loving friends. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today.